Hey everybody, welcome back to Board Game Blender. I'm Zee Garcia. Today we are talking about science and technology in games. And so this tends to be one of my favorite genres actually. Any game that involves science, experiments, technology, you building something, even alternate histories or steampunky kind of things. I tend to like all of that stuff very much, so I'm very excited for this episode. Hopefully, again, and our objective here is that you will find at least one new game that you haven't heard about that'll pique your interest and will make you want to go out there and find a new favorite. So, thanks for tuning in as always, and let's kick it off right away.
Hello folks, Mark here, and welcome to Thinking Inside the Box. In this series, I'm focusing on inserts, storage solutions, and games that already do both really well. Today we're taking a look at the insert for Cosmic Encounter from Daedalus Productions. Cosmic Encounter is a game of interplanetary colonization and cunning negotiations. Each player takes on the role of a leader of a unique alien race, seeking to colonize as many planets as possible. The first alien race to colonize 5 planets and other systems is the winner. In order to establish a settlement, you will need to win over the alien race that controls that planet through negotiation, partnership, or war. The core set of Cosmic includes 50 alien races, 163 cards, and player components for up to 5 players. But there are currently 5 expansions and a 6th on the way. That's a lot of cards and components. This game is in desperate need of being organized. Daedalus Productions has designed a simply beautiful solution. This insert dramatically reduces setup and cleanup time, holding the base game and all 5 expansions, including all 165 alien cards, all player ship components, tokens, and 330 cards with some room to grow. The organization is fantastic. I really like the modular system and trays for all the player components and cards. It all comes together and fits snugly in the Cosmic box. Now, the construction of the inserts from Daedalus do require a bit of time to assemble. You will need a rubber mallet, glue, yes, glue is a must for these inserts, an X-Acto knife to clean up the edges, and some tape. There are 12 trays to assemble, with an option to combine the 3 trays that hold the flare cards into one large tray. Initially I thought the large tray would be my go-to, but the design of the 3 trays really is nice for dividing up the flare cards based on their difficulty level. Here's a quick look at the construction. The construction went very smooth. All parts or panels are etched with letters for ease of assembly. The individual pieces all punch out very cleanly, and you will want to tape the joints together and let everything dry for a good 24 hours before use. The suggested glue, Beacon 527, works fantastic and dries clear, and cotton swabs work really well for removing the excess glue. I have to say, Daedalus has some of the best looking inserts out there. Everything comes pre-stained. I'm very impressed with the quality and time they put into their systems. You're probably wondering if it will accommodate the 6th expansion. Well, me too. There certainly is room for more cards, and I suspect it will be a tight fit if it does. But regardless, having the base game and all 5 expansions in one box with everything being accessible for quick and easy setup and teardown makes this insert a real winner. I'm a big fan. Alright folks, thanks for watching, happy organizing, and until next time, we'll see you at the table.
Hey guys, Tiff here. Today we're talking about scientific games, and only one game came to my mind. A 100% scientifically accurate lab simulation game, Dr. Eureka. Dr. Eureka, published by Blue Orange Games, is a quick dexterity game for 1 to 4 players in which you play as a scientist trying to prove your skill in the lab. The game starts when you flip over a challenge card. Each card shows a particular mixture of different colored molecules in 3 test tubes. Your goal is to be the first player to get your test tubes to match the pattern on the card. The trick is you can only do this by transferring the molecules from tube to tube without touching them with your hands. You can match the challenge card with your tubes right side up or upside down, but when you match, you shout, "Eureka!" If you get the match correct, you take the challenge card as a single point. If you mistakenly shout Eureka without a match or accidentally drop or touch a molecule, you're out of the game until the next round. Enough rounds are played until one player wins by scoring 5 points. Dr. Eureka is fun enough that I bought 2 copies for my middle school board game club. It's another simple game that the kids can teach to themselves, and it's got great looking components that really attracts players to the table. I'll admit that the speed element is not for everyone, but the game only lasts 15 minutes, so it's over before anyone can get too frustrated. I love playing the advanced variant, which has you keep your test tubes in your hands without touching the table. It ups the challenge and causes a lot more molecule spills. Even if you don't game with kids, Dr. Eureka makes for a perfect lighthearted filler game for grown-ups. So I hope you'll check it out, and I'll see you back next time.
Hey guys, it's Nerd E here, and today the episode is about science and technology, and one of the newest, hottest games out right now is Terraforming Mars. And what better game to talk about than Terraforming Mars when we're talking about science and technology? So let's get right into it. So where am I in Terraforming Mars? Well, Terraforming Mars is a game about terraforming Mars, putting oceans onto Mars, getting water there so that people can get water, putting plant life there so you can get oxygen on the planet, and then raising the temperature up so that way it's bearable for life and for humans. We're doing that by doing different things. We're putting different projects into place. We're building cities. We're putting plant life into it, putting different animal types, throwing asteroids at the planet to heat up that planet, putting greenhouse gases. Obviously, we know greenhouse gases are bad for Earth, but on planet Mars, what it's going to do is raise those temperatures up. We're also trying to get those frozen lakes that exist below the surface on Mars, potentially, to unfreeze when the temperature rises. And we're all doing all of this by being a corporation sent there to do the terraforming of Mars and be the best at it. We want to be the most renowned company doing that, which both means we want to get a lot of money from doing it, we want to be rich, but we also want the world to see how good we did and be the best at it. So that's kind of where we are in the game. Okay, so who am I? Well, who I am in this game is a corporation. If I'm playing the beginner corporation, then I'm just a faceless corporation. But if I'm playing the advanced version of the game, I actually have a corporation name with a little card that tells me exactly who I am, what my bonuses are, what my specialties are, exactly what I'm trying to do on Mars. And I am buying projects, getting patent cards, doing things that are allowing me to send ships to the planet, sending pets to the cities sometimes, getting microbes and doing DNA sequencing on different microbes to get advanced, finding lava fields, mining the planet, mining comets around or different moons of Jupiter, different things. I'm a corporation that's spending my money trying to get those different technologies into place and doing it over a course of generations. So I'm not just one guy. I'm a whole corporation trying to build up Mars over a number of decades, trying to get this planet to be livable for humans and be a new second home for us. Okay, how am I? Well, I gotta say, I don't know what it's going to be like when we actually do terraform Mars, but I do know that it's going to look a lot like this game. It's going to have a lot of the same ideas. I mean, we're already talking about it. Elon Musk is already talking about it. We just recently heard some SpaceX information from him about Mars and what they want to do there. The game is so good about having all of the different facts in line. Each hex on the board is 1% of the planet. So each of the tiles that are the ocean tiles add up to be 9% ocean on the planet, which is exactly what we would need for terraforming. The amount of oxygen percentage is just the right number. The temperature that we want it to be at. I mean, it's all very well researched. All of the cards are well researched. All the cards have on them information about what's going on. I mean, thematically, this thing is telling me exactly what I want to hear when it comes to the science aspect of terraforming Mars. The way it comes about, a little bit odd, where it's basically saying, I do it the best so the people just like me and I get more money because I did it. It's not necessarily an economic game fully because I'm doing things that are to help the planet get terraformed, and that's going to give me money. But normally in an economic game, you'd only get money for stuff that's really about getting more cash. But other than that, I feel like I'm a corporation. I feel like I'm lasting those generations forward trying to get Mars terraformed. I feel like that's what's going to take to actually do it. And I think this is a very, very good game. It gets me into the role that I feel like I need to be in. It's a great game. How am I? I am fantastic. And we are going to Mars, baby. Thanks, guys.
Alright, ticket to ride, okay. Map of the UK. We need to learn technologies to unlock great abilities. Alright, ticket to ride. I'm looking forward to this game. I've heard it's really great. Are you bored? Yep, someone's late. I guess we'll have to wait. How well do you know this new guy? I talk with him online. He says he knows every game. I'm sure that it is fine. Alright, ticket to ride, okay. Map of the UK.
Oh, you started. I'll sit here. What is your Wi-Fi key? I'll take red. Ticket to ride. Naya, fine by me.
Things are different, pay attention. All that you can do is claim the England routes that cost 1 or 2.
You guys do not know the rules? This game is pretty old. Check out this song of Carcassonne. This guy is comedy gold.
Technologies cost locomotives, please don't get stuck. All the other things you'll need to unlock. Alright, ticket to ride, okay. Map of the UK. We need to learn technologies to unlock great abilities. Alright, ticket to ride. I have an app to choose first player. Wait, I have it here. Keep up, guys. This is the future. I will have a beer.
Okay, I'm first. I will go from Limerick to Cork.
I'm sorry, routes in Ireland you'll need to unlock.
You said you knew the rules. Put away your phone.
You were late, pay attention.
Or maybe play alone.
You need locomotives when not in your possession. You can use any four for an Ireland concession. Alright, ticket to ride, okay. Map of the UK, alright. Ticket to ride.
You guys should play a little faster, a little 2.0. I'm sorry, we tried to enjoy the game.
Just feel free to go.
Oh, look, there's a Pokey stop just around the block. I'll be right back.
You'll need to unlock. Alright, ticket to ride, okay. Map of the UK. We need to learn technologies to unlock great abilities. Alright, ticket to ride.
For today's game, Under the Radar, I'm talking about Dastardly Dirigibles, and as it says on the cover here, it is a steampunk airship building game. So that's about right. And in it, you are, of course, building dirigibles, zeppelins, and you are trying to get yours done before other players, but also with the right parts, because you're going to be scoring based on the parts you play to your dirigible. The game is very rummy-esque. It's got that feeling to it, but there's a few things that added to that rummy base, I think elevate the game and could make it a family favorite if this is your style of thing. The game has amazing artwork. The artwork is just stunning on these cards, and the vibe of the steampunky vibe really does come through on this one. I like it a lot. I think, again, the detail, the attention to detail that's been added to this game makes it something special. There's that. I also like the interaction in the game. It's very interesting and not something you would expect from a rummy style game. it's not just take that. You know, the easy way to add interaction to a card game like this is I play a card on you, I destroy something sitting in front of you and you're dirigible, and ha ha ha, and that's it. Now this has direct interaction, definitely, and there's even some take that style cards. But the cool thing is that when you play a card in this game and the dirigible is separated into different pieces, if I play to the nose cone, let's say, everybody else, if they have a card that fits the same part in their dirigible, they have to play. Not they may, they have to. Which means sometimes you end up covering something up you wish you wouldn't have to. I haven't seen this one getting a lot of attention, and I'm not sure why. I know the steampunk love is out there. I like it very much myself, but it's possible that the people that see the artwork might play it and find the game to be too light. That's true, the game is light. And perhaps the people that want to play it as a family-style game find the theme too esoteric. That's also possible. But I think that it works, and I think it's a good combination of gorgeous artwork, cool theme, kind of engaging, kind of interesting, and all the crazy inventions in the game, real sciencey and steampunky. I like those that you get to play on other people, and just the flow of the game has a classic feel to it. It's a simple game to teach and a simple game to play. So I would recommend you look into it. If it's something that's not been on your radar yet, check it out. That is Dastardly Dirigibles.
Well, that does it. May your rolls be high.
Hey everybody, so my designer spotlight this week, since we're talking about science and technology, is Dirk Nehmeyer. He has designed a few games which are about science and technology. His first one that he did was called The New Science. Now this game is sort of a tech tree game where you're going up tech trees, you're getting different powers, and when you learn all these different kind of scientific technologies, you could advance your science skills and move up this giant tech tree. I really like that game. It's an older one, came out about 4 years ago or so, and it's definitely one that you should look at. A newer game that he did is Tesla versus Edison. Now this one is more of a stock market game. You're collecting shares in different companies that are powering the world and putting electricity in the world. This is also a really good game. I know people have said that the stock market is a little too powerful and you don't need to do so much putting the electricity on the board, but I think you could do a balance of both, and I think the expansion really adds a lot to the game as well. Now he has a new one coming out which hasn't come out yet, which is called Einstein. I'm very excited about this because all of his games really teach you a lot about the people who were involved in science and technology and bringing our world up into a better world back hundreds of years ago. And I'm looking forward to this new Einstein game to see what he puts into it. Anyway, my designer spotlight this week, as I said, is Dirk Nehmeyer.
Welcome back to another episode of How to Fun. I'm Ben, and together we look at some of your favorite games and look at ways in which you can make them even more fun for you and those you play them with. This week is all about science and technology, and one of my favorite technology-based games has to be Roll for the Galaxy. In this simultaneous action selection game, you'll be racing to build the most productive space empire. You do this by rolling and assigning your various citizens to do particular tasks. They may be exploring, developing new technology, settling new colonies, producing goods, or creating shipping routes. The player who best manages their money, citizens, goods, creating a sufficient amount of victory points,
will be the winner, thus claiming the most fortified and advanced space empire. So how do you make the already awesome Roll for the Galaxy even more fun and enjoyable? Let me show you. Ta-da! No, it's inside. Look, felt. There's felt in the cup. Huh? Pretty cool. Okay, let me explain a little bit of backstory. So I ended up purchasing this game about 9 months ago. I played it and fell in love with it. I love the tableau building aspect, the multiplayer solitaire where everyone is racing to be as efficient as they can, the whole engine building, it was just awesome, okay? Played with my wife and she thought the same thing. She doesn't always fall in love with the games I teach her, but this one is actually her favorite game I think we own. So, what's the problem? Well, she was 7 months pregnant at the time with our first two children. So we were very concerned because 2 months later we would have babies that would be wanting to sleep a lot. And yes, babies do sleep a lot. And they also wake up from very loud noises. And if you've ever played Liar's Dice or put plastic dice in a plastic cup, it can be very loud. So we went out and bought ourselves some of this adhesive felt at a local hobby store and found a template for applying it to the inside of the cups on Board Game Geek. And let me tell you, it really does wonders. So 2 months later, our babies were born, and yes, they did sleep, and yes, they did wake up a lot at loud noises. But it wasn't a big deal because we'd prepared ourselves. Well, our babies are now 6 months old and as cute as can be. And often, on occasion, we can put them to bed at night and sit down and now play a nice, quiet game of Roll for the Galaxy together. So, what I'm not telling you is to go and put felt in all your dice cups. That's not the point of the story. The point of the story is sometimes, in order to make some of your favorite games even more fun and more accessible, it's necessary to modify them a little bit. Be that what it may, I don't know, because I'm not in your situation. But I encourage you to look through your collection of games and look at a game that maybe you could pull out and do some tweaking to make even more accessible, more enjoyable on occasion. You'll be surprised what you can do. So, go ahead in the comments below, tell me if you've ever had an experience where you had to modify one of your games to fit your situation. I'd love to hear about it, because I may be able to do the same thing with one of my games. But for now, thanks for watching and keep having fun playing games, okay?
Howdy folks, Rebecca and Hunter here. What game are we going to talk about today?
How about we do 7 Wonders?
On second thought, let's not play 7 Wonders. Instead, let's play 7 Wonders Duel. Unlike 7 Wonders Duel plays like poetry in motion.
Yeah, the 7 Wonders 2-player variant is not very good. You have a ghost player off to the side and you have to switch these decks around instead of drafting. You do some weird things and then you pay the ghost player for stuff and it's just not that fun.
Yeah, but this one is really interesting, and I enjoy that there are 3 paths to victory. You can win by the most victory points, you can win militarily, or you can also win by achieving the most science and technology.
Yeah, in this game you have to be careful because the science and the military victories are instant. As soon as your opponent achieves those victories, the game is over. You can't let yourself be blinded by what your opponent's doing in science and military.
Yes, and I do enjoy the card drafting in this game. You build a structure, it's actually called a structure, on the table where you will be revealing cards as you select them.
Yeah, it's interesting because you have to kind of play a cat and mouse game with your opponent, and if you take a card, it may expose some cards that they really want, so you have to be very careful about what you pick and choose in this game.
Yeah, so if you enjoy playing a two-player game and you want to try Seven Wonders out, we recommend Seven Wonders Duel. So thank you so much for
Cool Catch Race!
Hi guys, I'm Jess and this is Andrew from Gameosity, and today we're talking about science and technology.
Yeah, science and technology are really neat gameplay subject matter, and a lot of really great games either use technology in an interesting way or have technology as their sort of central aesthetic and theme. But the fact of the matter is, with exceptions like, not dying, most of these games are really more about victory points than anything else.
What's with that?
Yeah, what are victory points even good for? And is there anything to eat? I'm kind of hungry.
Try some victory points. Can you pass me a blanket? I'm really cold.
Oh, here. Why don't you, try some victory points? Honey, I'm being attacked by a giant squid. Could you please throw some of those incredibly sharp victory point crystals at it?
But I worked really hard to collect these.
Honey, please, giant squid.
One.
Ow.
I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't know. The victory point thing, the more you examine it, the less sense it makes.
Yeah.
But in our collection, we did come across one game that really has, at its core, technology. Not just as a theme, and not just as an important part of the mechanics, but as a goal. A game about technology.
And it is also the lowest tech game we own.
Yeah, in some ways it absolutely is. I'm talking, of course, about Cavemen, Quest for Fire. It's a tiny box.
Oh yeah. So, the main idea of the game is everyone is a tribe of cave people. You're going to be living in caves and hunting dinosaurs. And
even though there were no dinosaurs in cave person times.
As you play the game, you're going to be expanding your tribe, finding bigger caves, adding new people like hunters or explorers or even, elders.
And nerds. And the goal of the game is to get your tribes thinking up high enough so that you can invent fire, which is, kind of everything, and it's awesome, and this is
a really cool illustration, actually.
It's a light bulb made of an egg and a candle and some reed, I think. Anyway, so one of the things that makes Cavemen: The Quest for Fire unique is the fact that you are racing, but it's not about victory points. It's about making something, and all along the way, you're going to make other things. Like there are inventions like a bow and arrow that makes hunting safer, or you'll develop fishing. Right, yeah. That makes it easier for your tribe to be fed.
But all of these techs aren't going to win you the game.
That's right, and no amount of hunting or gathering is going to do it either. It's not a game about that. Those are means to an end, survival mechanisms. Ironically, those are the things that would generally generate points for you in other games, but instead in Cavemen...
There are no points.
There are no points. The only thing that matters is, who can invent fire, and that means getting your thinking rating up, because, you're not just going to invent fire by banging rocks together.
Actually, I think you can.
What?
So, while we really love all of these other games... if you're looking for something that's a little more of a love letter to science and technology in its most primitive form, then we really recommend Cavemen: Quest for Fire. It's a really fun game.
And a pretty unique twist on the whole science and technology in games concept. Anyway, she's Jess.
He's Andrew.
And we're from Gameosity. See you next game.
Hey everybody, for today's Quirky Game, I want to talk about a deck building game that happens to be one of my favorites. Now, I know what you're thinking. Deck building games don't tend to be that quirky. We sort of know what we get with deck building games. Yeah, that's partly true, but not when deck building is used smartly and as just a piece of the entire puzzle, and this one certainly does that. I am talking here about Super Motherload, which is, as I said, one of my favorite deck building games. But the deck building game is just this little deck of cards. Each player has one like this. And at most, you are going to be buying up all of these, which you probably won't. You'll be buying just a few of these. And that's what you're going to use to further your plans. Now, what are those plans? Well, all the players are on the surface of Mars, and you are digging down, finding minerals, finding alien artifacts, trying to outpace your opponents and be the company on Mars that wins. There's been a big push lately for these games that are deck building meets a board, and you do something with the board. Sometimes that aspect is pretty abstracted, really. It's bits on a board, and you're supposed to move them about, but they just mark some in-game state. And sometimes not. Sometimes they're a little bit more involved, like diving into a dungeon, delving in there and fighting beasties and all that with a deck that you've built. And those are all fine, but I think this one not only did it first, I think, or was one of the first ones, but it did it very well and possibly did it best. Because you have the deck building aspect here meets a certain video game from the 80s in which you are going to be digging down, and once you reach the bottom of this board, then out comes this board, and you link them up like so, and you keep on digging down. And so you are going to be having to be careful which way you dig, how. There are obstacles in your way sometimes, depending on what you cover and where and how you tackle all of that. You'll be getting victory points, you'll be getting special alien artifacts that give you some sort of bonuses. There are in-game bonuses. There are long-term goals you are attempting to go for. But the whole thing, even though there's a lot going on here with lots of tokens and lots of bits and these used to cover up the places you've dug into, even though there's all of that going on in the game, it's breezy. It's got a quick pace to it, and that's, I think, one of my favorite things about it. Usually you take a deck building system, you add a board to it, and the whole thing just gets bogged down. It's like trying to shove in two different games in your face at the same time. This one manages to make both of these parts of the game work together well into one cohesive game. And that's what I like about it so much. It's a nice, quick game. It's got a great pace to it. It works well. The game's not necessarily short. It's, 75 minutes or so, but it's obvious what you ought to be doing, just not how to do it. And I like that, I like games that are not obtuse. Love the theme in this. I love the artwork in it. I like the mechanisms all working together. Love the whole digging down aspect of it. And these boards, you have plenty of boards here with the double-sided aspect to them. They tell you the depth right on the board there, so you can play however you want to. So very cool game. One that I would love to see an expansion for, actually. And one that did get reprinted some time ago with a different cover. So watch out for that. I happen to have the original cover here, but there is a newer cover. Now, this company has been getting a lot of buzz, Roxley, especially with their newer game. But I happen to think that this one is one that deserves a lot more attention. I feel like it came out some time ago, and maybe it's not getting that love anymore, but it's a fun, quirky game. I like it a lot, and so if you want something different with the familiarity of deck building, then I think this is a one to look into. That is Super Motherload. Definitely check this one out if you haven't done so.
Folks, welcome back to another Real Talk segment with Sam here on the Blender. Thanks for being a friend of the Blend. And today's episode, we're talking about science and technology. And I thought I would go on a little journey from a kind of a thick, heavy game on down to a medium weight game and then down to a very light game. But they all kind of encompass this idea of science and technology in them. So first of all, my heavy, kind of real brain-burny, thinky game is this guy right here, and it's also a big box. So Power Grid is one of those games that really just kind of hits you in the brain. and it really kind of hurts for a while, but it's one of those kind of hurts that it also feels kind of good, and that's what I really enjoy about the game. It has a really high mathematical curve to it, but the thing that I really like about the game is the spatial aspect of it, where you're trying to power your cities and gain points and all of that kind of stuff on the actual board. And so that's a really cool thing that I like about Power Grid. It's thinky, it's a little brain burny there, especially towards the end of the game, but it's very fun. I enjoy it a lot. Go check it out. Really cool. My next game that's kind of going down now, we're talking about a midweight level, family level, I guess you could maybe even say, game that involves science and technology, is this guy right here, Steampunk Rally. Now, Steampunk Rally is a pretty cool theme in and of itself, where different inventors and scientists from around the world, real ones from history, are coming together for this race through the Alps, and they're trying to piece together these different concocted engines and flying contraptions and vehicles to race this to run this race in. And it's just really a neat little thing. At the end of the day, it's a racing game, pure and simple, but the theme is really what makes it cool. And all the dice that come in it as well, where you're using those dice to power the engines on your machine and all this kind of stuff. It's a really neat game. If you haven't given it a try, it's kind of flying under the radar right now, no pun intended. But if you have the chance, give it a shot. I think you'll really enjoy it. Steampunk Rally. And then my final game that I'd like to talk about today is a lighter weight game. It's only for 2 players, but it definitely has the science aspect in it, and that is Raptor. Now, Raptor is a 2-player game where one player takes a team of scientists, and the other one takes on the persona of a mother raptor trying to protect her babies from these evil scientists that want to do experimentations on them and all that other kind of stuff. And so basically the mom is trying to get her babies off the board so that they are safe from the scientists, and the scientists are trying to either put mommy to sleep or capture some baby raptors to perform tests and all that kind of stuff on them, I guess. So it has interesting card play where each person has the same numbers in their deck, and the cards that are played face down are revealed at the same time. Whoever has the higher number gets to do the special action that the card has, and whoever plays the lower number gets to do a number of actions which make up the difference between the other card and this card. So it's a really neat game that doesn't take a whole lot to play as far as time is concerned, but it's really fun and really enjoyable. So that is Raptor. And so, hey, look, if you didn't like my choices, just trying to keep it real, y'all. See you on the flip side.
And that'll wrap it up for this episode, everybody. Thank you very much for tuning in. As always, a big thank you to all my contributors who really make this show. And we're going to have another one of these for you in a couple of weeks, so make sure you come on back for that. And as always, hey, stay a friend of the blend. I'll see you.
Zero one 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 zero zero one zero 0110111 0110001 0110111 0110010 0110001 011010000 011010001 0000101